Hi everyone and welcome to another video. Today I have with me the Lenovo NOQ with kind of a weird name. I don't know why they're calling it LOQ, like it's loco, whatever. Its full name is 16IRH 8, which I don't know how they came with these sub names, but whatever. Let's just open up and let's talk about it, shall we? So finally, well, it's not final, but some Lenovo laptops boxes are coming with handle, and this one comes with it as well. So pretty cool, because lately they went eco with the recycled cases and stuff like that. So it's much better like that. I know. For my experience, I think the opening experience is better. A lot of foam, and over here we have the charger. It looks like 138, but it might be even more than that. We'll check it in a second, but let's open up and take out the foam. And here is the device. Ooh, it's kind of heavy. Let me clear up the place and we'll be back. And I'm back, clear up the mess. So let's start with the charger, because we love chargers and it's important to know what kind of charger you have. So over here we have big brick, but it's not that bad. I mean, with time they became much smaller. I think maybe I have an example for an old version. So yeah, I do have laying around 170 old version. So that's how they used to look like. So take for an example. I know that's almost 2 centuries difference, but we should thank them. But enough about all around. Let's talk about ports, and we'll start from the LOQ, so that's the right side. On the right side we have, I like it from the beginning. We have physical camera shutter. So what it means, if it's like that and it's red, it means that your camera is off. Even if like software related, it cannot stop. It cannot start. USB probably 3.0, because why bother? I don't know if you can see, you can barely see, but it's kind of a blue vents, really cool. On the back, here is the party. Just a second, let's give you a little bit of brightness. Okay, so we have another 2 USBs, 3.0 probably, Ethernet port, HDMI, and power source. Yay! On the back you can see the blue ventilation ports. It's really cool. I like it. It's like cyan blue, but a lighter, I don't know, I cannot explain, but from the video, at least from what I can see, it's not perfectly what as you can see, but in real life it looks pretty beautiful. On the left we have the audio jack for headphone and microphone combo, and the Type-C, hopefully a Thunderbolt. We'll check it soon. On the bottom, what we can see, we have a lot of ventilation, again, looking pretty cool. Feels a lot of plastics, but the top feels good. It's a little bit heavy, yeah, but it's not bothering heavy. I would say it's like 2 kilos. So it's not that bad. So let's open up the guy and see what this laptop offers, right? Beautiful. Let me adjust the camera. All right, here is the nylon. Usually it's not that type of a nylon, it's just like they printed it. Usually it's like covering some starter button, for example. They went cheap on this device a little bit, as you can see, but that's not that bad. Keyboard wise, feels good. Palm rest feels good. Trackpad feels good. But let's open it up and see what's going on inside, shall we? There it welcomes you with all the colors. So that's RGB keyboard, if you didn't notice. Beautiful. Let's see what it offers regarding of types of keyboards and colors. So I've been waiting for a while, but it's stuck on just a moment, even though I shut it down. So maybe I have to reinstall the OS, even though it's brand new, as you saw it. So thank you, Lenovo, for sending us this example. But let's talk about exterior and its bigger brother, the Legion 5i and the Legion 7i, and I think there is even 9i, right? So the first few things that I notice is, first of all, the keyboard. If you see the colors, they are changing, but they are lagging. What do I mean by lagging? I'm used for a much smoother keyboard colors change. It's like, it's not moving correctly as I want it to be. And thank you for finally loading, Lenovo. So that's the first thing I've noticed. The second thing that I've noticed is there is no turbo button. I guess they might have something within the OS, but with the Legion 7i, I think, the one that I was given for review, there is an actual physical button for a turbo. What the turbo does is basically just making the fans running much harder and just on full mode. With this one, you don't have it. Again, it's an OS related. If the laptop feels that it needs extra power, it just will do it without a physical button. But yeah, it's missing that. The other thing that I noticed is that there is no physical or something to block your camera. And I guess there isn't like an IR in there for face recognition, but we'll check it. Finally, it's loaded, so we'll talk a little bit more about OS in a second. Welcome Windows 11. Even though that the previous pictures were Windows 10, it just became 11. I don't know what happened. So it's finally here, and after like 7.5 minutes, it's finally open. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the pre-installing applications. I mean, Windows, Microsoft, and Lenovo, you got to stop with this bloatware. Please stop with the McAfee, stop with the Office, the OneNote, the OneDrive. So I'm starting deleting applications, and it's already on turbo mode, and you can hear the fans running. I mean, it's not that bad, but you can hear it, of course. Now it looks much cleaner. Okay, so after removing some applications, and right now it's downloading updates, let's talk about exterior, or maybe you can call it interior. Anyways, so let's start with the trackpad. So the trackpad feels good. It's plastic type, so it's not like haptic or glass or something like that. It's plain plastic, but the plastic is doing its job very well. I'm feeling like I'm sliding on it, and it's just good. It's a perfect trackpad. It's doing its job. It's precise. I like it. Good job. So the keyboard. The keyboard is a full keyboard. The numpads are the numpad area is a little bit cramped, but it's not that major. I felt worse than those, but it's fine. The keyboards are very familiar. If you've used like the Legion whatever version, it's probably going to be the same experience. And even latest ThinkPads, almost the same experience, but pretty good experience. So let's do a typing test, shall we? Quiet keyboard, very, again, precise, because I do like how the keyboard feels. It's not mechanical by any means, but it's just that if I'm clicking on this button, I know that I'm clicking on control, and if I'm clicking on this, it's an arrow up, arrow down. I just know where I'm going to and from, so good keyboard again. My only complaint, which I started with, It's related to the software probably, but I would blame hardware again. The color changing are making the experience worse than it should be. The color should not be moving in that slow. It feels like the keyboard is from China. I bought it from eBay, and the colors are not changing in the speed that I would like it to be. There is the breathing mode, and even the breathing mode lags. You should see it if you want to feel it. If you would be me and I would be using this laptop, I wouldn't be using those two type of themes. I would call it theme. I would just use this one, the static one, and I think this should be okay. So, and this one, the blue one. Those two are static and quite good. I mean, for me, probably for you as well. But that's everything regarding the keyboard. Just take it in mind because it's bothered me if you are into RGB. Also in the RGB department, just before we go into the screen, so usually in the gaming laptop, I would call it party, even on the back and on the bottom, you should have had LEDs or RGBs, but you have nothing. All you have are those blue-like RGB on the side and on the bottom. I mean, if you like blue, and I do like blue, then you wouldn't really mind. But you don't have LEDs. I mean, it's better for your battery anyways. But just take it in mind if you are considering this device. So let's talk screen. So it's an Ultra HD 2560 by 1600, which is quite good. The average screens right now for gaming and for businesses, even businesses today, are for the Ultra HD, which is fantastic kind of resolution. You don't have to go 4K because of battery and maybe even GPU related stuff, but it's good. But you know, even what's even better than that? If we go to advanced display, we can see 165 Hertz, which is wonderful for gaming. Every game you're going to play on it is going to feel smooth as butter. It's great. You should, if you haven't experienced screen that's higher than 60 Hertz, you don't know what happiness is. And that's a happy screen. So again, good job, Lenovo. And now let's talk specs. So this device is coming with an i5 13420H. What it means? It means that this is an i5, so it's better than the i3 and the Celeron and those kind of stupid CPUs. Sorry that I'm calling that. It's just that I hate those low-powered CPUs. It's better, and you know what's even better? The H, which means it's consuming more power, more wattage, and it's better for gaming and everything that's application related and even hardware. It's going to perform much better than the U or G or those variants. If you go by the H and higher, let's say HG, I think it's called HX and H, I can't remember the last one, then you are in the good direction. So the CPU comes with 8 cores and 12 logical processors. The L3 cache is 12 megabytes. I mean, all of these numbers are great. We are going to check it in the benchmark territory really soon. Memory. This device comes with 16 gigs of RAM. It's supposed to be enough for the, let's say, the 2 to 3, maybe, I wouldn't say 5, but for the next 2-3 years, it's supposed to be enough for everything that usual, like the normal gamer is using. But 16 is supposed to be, it's your average today RAM. So you might want to check and upgrade for the 32 variant. And if you are upgrading, you're going to be very happy because that's a DDR5, which means it's really fast. And you can even see that it's 5200, which means it's above average. The average is 4800. So it's supposed to be fast, right? So again, we're going to check it in a second. And the SSD storage department. I do not recognize this weird name. SOLIDIGM. Nice. The full name is SSD PFINW 512GZL. We are going to benchmark that as well. It's a 512 gigs and it's above average. The average is 256. This one is 512. Nice one. Wi-Fi 6, of course. Why wouldn't it be with the 13th Gen CPU? It's a mouthful for me. It's the Wi-Fi 6 AX203. Supposed to be good. It feels good. Downloads everything pretty smoothly. Nice Wi-Fi. In the GPU department, we are getting UHD graphics. Nah, I'm kidding. We are getting the Nvidia GeForce RTX 4050 laptop GPU. It's supposed to be your beginner GPU, I would say, but because it's the 14th generation, then it's supposed to be smooth. Even if you are having like the basic GPU, it's better than, like, let's say from the 6050, whatever those GPUs are. Again, we are going to benchmark it very, very soon. We are going to start benchmark really small soon. I just have to do a restart, installing some drivers, and I'll be with you. I just want it to be, your really tests and not during updates and stupid stuff like that. So in a second, I'll be back. And so 1 second before we're starting benchmarks, let's check the speakers, shall we? So let's start. It's Solicious by Diala. Sorry, complicated name. But let's start and see how it feels and how it sounds. So what we can tell about the speakers, I can tell you that they are bottom firing. They are probably from, here they are, here on this side and here on this side. Their sound, I would say 6, maybe 7 on my ladder of type of speakers, because they are getting loud and they're quite clear, even though they're lower quality of the higher quality speakers. I know it kind of sounds weird when I'm saying it, but what I'm trying to say is that the speakers are okay. Above 60, they all sound extremely loud, and again, fine performance, good job. And now for the benchmark. Let's start doing the benchmark for the SSD. We'll see how the SOLIDIGM is doing, and once it's finished, we'll be back. So we are back, and what can I say about the numbers? The read writes are almost 3500. The write speeds are at 1600. What it means? So the best example that I can give you, hello screen. The best, sorry, it's taking it a while to run the test. So what I can say about those numbers. So if you are upgrading this device from an older device, let's say 4, 5, 6 years old and even older than that, you are going to feel better. You're going to feel the device is good. But if you've used a powerful device before, let's say latest device from 2022, you are going to feel like this is slow. And what do you mean by that? Today, high-end laptops are already coming with 7500 write speeds. Read speeds. Write speeds are almost there. But good SSDs today are starting with 6000. Okay, the 6000 read speeds and above that. And the write speeds are not that great. I thought maybe it would be better, but again, for whatever you're doing, if you're playing games and browsing the web and doing like those basic stuff, you're not going to feel that's so bad, but you should be aware that there are better options. So if you want, you can just upgrade it and be happy with it, right? Or just stay with it. That's what you got from Lenovo. And now we are starting with CPU and GPU benchmarks. So let's start doing the CPU benchmark without the charger. I'm going to leave it, let's say here, maybe. Yeah, maybe we can keep it there. So you'll be happy to see that it's over there, but it won't keep it. So you're just going to have to believe me. Okay, it's going to be there. And I'm going to run the CPU benchmark without a charger, and then again with a charger, and we'll see how it does. So let it run, and I'll be back once it's finished. And we are back with the numbers. So the single core score is 1400. It's quite average, maybe below that, but I guess it would be good if you are not using the charger, so you are going to save some power. The multi-core score is 6700, almost at 1700. It's quite good, it's quite nice. Let me show you the rest of the numbers, and we'll go to the same test, but next time with a charger, and we'll see if there is a difference. Also, I'm going to change it to best performance, so it's going to use a little bit more wattage, and we'll see what we can drain or get out from the CPU, what it can offer. Quite nice for an i5, right? Now let's run the test. Again, CPU benchmark with a charger. And I'm going to also change the performance, the CPU, power scheme. So I couldn't find, I mean, there is the Lenovo Vantage, but I couldn't find a button for that, for how to change it. So I just did, and you can see that it's going to change. I went to control, and from there I went to power options. From there, you can see all the power plans. Right now it's on balance. I'm going to change it to performance, but if you saw, the button has changed to red. You can also use balanced, which is purple, and you can use the quiet mode, which is blue. I guess the performance will be lowered with each power scheme, of course, power plan, but for now, I just want to see how much we can squeeze from the CPU, so I'm not going to bother with checking other power plans. So let's just run the CPU test, and we'll see what we're getting for getting a little bit extra juice, right? I'm going to be back once it's done. And now we can feel, or maybe hear, the fans starting to work. Again, I know we've heard it before, but I'm going to give you another example. Again, it can be heard, but it's not that loud. I've heard louder, fans. And we're back with the scores. And finally, a laptop that gives you a boost if you are running on performance mode. So, single core score. Oh my god. It got boosted by, I think, 30%. Maybe, if I'm wrong, sorry. That's the previous test. 1400. It bumped to 1600 and a half. The multi-core, I think it got bumped by 50%, right? So, pretty good. Pretty good. If you want to have the best experience with your laptop, like every laptop, but with this one you are getting a boost, you are getting a bump, a huge bump, then use the power adapter. Let me show you the rest of the numbers, and we'll go to the GPUs. I mean, one GPU, but maybe we can test the Intel one. And now for the GPU benchmarks. I'm going to run all of them with the power adapter. There is no reason to do so without. And we'll go one by one. So let's start with the RTX 4050 with the Coda one. So let's start, and I'll be back once it's finished. So quite the numbers, Lenovo. CUDA score 88,936, almost just, let's say, 89,000. That's quite good. It's half, I think maybe it's half the 3090 Ti. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but yeah, I'm just trying to say that's a pretty good number if you're planning to game with a 4050 laptop GPU. And now for the OpenCL test, again RTX 4050, and we'll be back. And we're back. Again, impressive numbers. OpenCL score at 85,212. And let me show you the rest of the numbers. Ooh, practical physics. And for the last test for the Nvidia RTX 4050, the Vulkan. Let it run and I'll be back. And we're back with the Vulkan score of 11,832. Almost 12,000, of course. And let me show you the rest of the numbers. And now for the other GPU, the onboard GPU, the Intel GPU, that's part of the CPU. And I think it's more interesting to see how the onboard does against the RTX. So let's start the benchmark and we'll see what are the results. And we are back with the OpenCL for the Intel onboard score. It's 11,687. Sounds good, right? So let me show you the previous test. Again, same one, OpenCL, but with the RTX 4050. See the difference? It's like 10% out of the RTX for 4050. Let me show you the rest of the numbers if you are bothered to check. And for the last benchmark for the UHD graphics, the onboard graphics, Vulkan GPU benchmark. We'll be back in a second. And we are back. The score is 59,440. I don't know how. That's quite incredible. But check out the previous, what we did with the Vulkan and the RTX 4050. That's the score that it got. Same test, the Vulkan and the Vulkan. This one with the UHD graphics, the other one with the RTX. I don't know what Intel did with this test. Maybe they cheated. I don't know. But that's the score. Quite high. Let's go and check the numbers and we'll go to final thoughts and what we might care about. Okay, so I think we went everything. We went through the screen, the ports, the keyboard, the trackpad, screen, I don't know, you name it, wave. So what do we think about it? I think you know what I think. I think that this device, for what the owner paid, which is $1,200 for this machine, which is having the 4050 and an i5H series CPU, it's quite the nice package. You're getting a great screen, nice keyboard, quite a good trackpad, fine speakers, gamerish looking, and the all-around is just quite good. You're getting quite a good package for what you're paying. You cannot compare it to like the bigger bodies of it, like the Legion i5 and the 5i and 7i, but it's coming closer and it's treasuring it. Like, if you are going to game on it, you're going to have so much fun. You shouldn't mind about this SSD's speed or the RAM speeds or whatever. Your main hardware is the 4050 and it's doing a good job. So I think that's wraps it up. If you have any questions and you've stayed up until this minute, which is quite thank you and I love you, then you are more than welcome to ask me any questions that you might have. I didn't check the battery life because you saw I've opened it up with you. The owner, which is Natalie, is going to use it for her college and university, so she is going to use it heavily. So if you care about the battery life and you are wondering what is it, give it a week, comment, and I'll give you the numbers, just as that. And if you have any other questions, feel free to ask me. I'll be happy to answer you. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.